Bawat hakbang na kay lungkot, tamis na di malilimot, kahapoy di magbabalik, sa alaala lang mauulit.
My name is Levi Celerio. I was born in Manila, but I grew up in New York City. I'm known to be the son of Levi Celerio, a national artist of the Philippines.
Ang puso kong iniwan mo, buong buhay nagtatampo, kahit may sikat ng araw, may anino ding nagtatago.
My dad was a great influence on me, not just musically, as far as character too, because he seems to be philosophizing every day. He's into philosophies and always remembering something about rule, universal rules. And he would tell me that kindness is important, respect is important. You have to respect people's composition musically. You have to also respect their opinions and their feelings about everything else. Growing up in a musical family, I would often see visitors, famous artists visiting my dad, Levi Celerio, and it would be filled with music all day long. So that's how I started getting sharp musically, because I would observe each artist. He was great in violin, music. He had a great schooling. He was playing in an orchestra. I think he was a first violin in Manila Orchestra back in the 60s. And dedication was a thing that I observed. He didn't become too relaxed with what he knew. He knew that you could keep learning, and there's no such thing as you being the greatest. You're always going to be a student in the music field. Dad is very careful on criticizing me because I don't think he thinks that's going to be encouraging. But if he would criticize me, he would do it in such a way you won't even notice it. He might just have a suggestion. Actually, my mom also used to criticize my dad. You know, when he was composing home, he would ask my mom for the final say, you know, about a composition. If my mom could change a thing or two, my dad would also be open-minded. So my dad, being open-minded, I think he would expect that about me too, being open-minded. And if I would, I'm sure now, if I would get mad or took it personal, I'm sure my dad would say, "That's wrong, son. You know, you have to be open-minded." But like I said, he had a way of teaching you without sounding like he was being Mr. Know-it-all. And trust me, if you're around Levi Celerio, you know he's telling you something right.
Ang isip ko'y walang masabi, umaasa't nasasaktan, hinihintay ang iyong pangako, ako yata'ng nagkamali.
My fondest memory of my dad when I was younger was seeing how he would compose literally a few minutes. You know, light up a cigarette, would go to the corner, and he would literally write a hit song. Songs like Saan Ka Man Naroroon, songs like Ikaw lamang ang aking ibigin. He wrote them effortlessly, just like a few minutes before the cigarette is over, you know, from the ashtray. And that usually like boggled my mind. I said, wow, this is so quick. So I knew then that it was either a genius thing or maybe it was a routine of a genius. collaborated with my dad in a few tunes, but none of them were published. I still got them in my files. Someday I may revise them. A few tunes, because my music seems to be more westernized, and my dad would always say that. It's not Philippine-based melody that you could put perfect Tagalog lyrics, Philippine lyrics into it. But he managed, he was a genius, he did it anyway. One of my dad's famous composition, and actually my favorite, is Saan Ka Man Naroroon. I think because almost everybody is singing it. And also it's very personal for my dad when my mom had to go to America, and that would be like really far. He wrote this with a deep meaning, Saan Ka Man Naroroon. Meaning, everywhere you are, there's still a meeting of minds. The meeting of minds will be love. It doesn't have to be physical. The meeting of mind is already, in a way, a meeting of two hearts. So he's saying, wherever you are, I'm going to love you. And distance is not going to stop that. When he was declared national artist, I think in the mid-90s, I finally said, wow, he deserves it, because not a lot of people recognize it, because in the Philippines you tend to look at the singers and the actors more than the composers. And I was very happy that they finally gave importance to composers also, and filmmakers, photographers. So it wasn't all about actors and singers anymore. And my dad, writing 3,000 songs and over, deserved it while he was alive, because a lot of national artists was declared after they died. My dad was at least alive when he was declared national artist, and we were all very happy for him. On my last album, I wrote a lot of good tunes that I wish my dad could have heard. Because as I got older, I became more influenced by my dad's methods of writing songs. If he could only hear it, I think he would be so proud. When I was younger growing up, I didn't know if he was going to give me any, mana. Sa Tagalog, may pamana siya sa akin. Then as I got older, I realized his greatness, his last name, and his composition and his work was the greatest thing a son could have. And I don't think I could ask for more.
Hinihintay ang iyong pangako. Ako yata'y nagkamali. Ang puso kong parang